The title of this video is daring, but I'm willing to bet you think one of the following two things.
San Marino are bad, but I mean they have a super small population, so you can't really expect them to be better. They are performing about as well as you can demand.
San Marino are trash, but they are moving in the right direction. I mean, they did recently enjoy their first competitive win ever. Fair play, I'm happy for them.
You're both wrong. This is the right opinion. San Marino are trash, but they should be much better at football, despite having a tiny population and recently defeating Liechtenstein. Wow, San Marino won a competitive game of football by 1 goal against the powerhouse Liechtenstein. Congratulations, here's your medal. Apart from San Marino, there are 4 other UEFA members with a population under 100,000, all of which won multiple competitive matches before San Marino did so just once. Gibraltar joined UEFA 25 years after San Marino and has an almost identical population, but they've already defeated Liechtenstein twice, and Armenia. Liechtenstein themselves have already beaten Azerbaijan, Luxembourg, Iceland, Latvia and Moldova. Andorra and the Faroe Islands also have several wins. Andorra's population is well over twice as high as San Marino's, which might seem like a lot, but to put things into perspective, Argentina's population was almost 11 times bigger than Croatia's in 2018, or around 116 times the size of Iceland. San Marino can't use wealth as an excuse either. Andorra's GDP per capita is lower. And these rankings make San Marino look deceivingly poor. In reality, their GDP per capita is one of the 15 highest in Europe, higher than Belgium, the UK, France, Italy and Spain, to name a few. San Marino is not impoverished, and needless to say, climate is not a valid excuse for their failures either. Ask the Faroe Islands. Also, San Marino is, completely surrounded by one of the all-time greatest footballing nations. Lastly, the main thing that makes San Marino's lack of wins embarrassing is that they were one of the first European microstates with a national team, giving them a head start. Still, it took San Marino well over 30 years to win a competitive match. Embarrassing. If they go on and win their Nations League group this season, good for them. But it's too little too late. They should have been able to accomplish something on par with that decades ago. To further put San Marino's lack of success into perspective, let's go through a timeline of European qualifiers and Nations League campaigns they have participated in, and compare them with fellow European microstates. San Marino's first competitive match was in the 1992 Euro qualifiers, the same year the Faroe Islands entered the competition. The Faroe Islands shocked everyone by beating Austria, while San Marino, didn't quite make the same splash. Granted, the Faroe Islands had twice the population of San Marino, but the entire difference between the two fits inside Craven Cottage. At least San Marino almost beat England a few years later. Liechtenstein joined the 1996 Euro qualifiers, impressively drawing with Ireland. Meanwhile, the Faroe Islands beat San Marino twice, and later did the same to Malta in the World Cup qualifiers. In the 2000 Euro qualifiers, Andorra made their debut, while Liechtenstein pulled off a surprise win against Azerbaijan. To put things into perspective, Liechtenstein only had 5,000 more people than San Marino, and started playing in European qualifiers just 5 years earlier, yet they already have a competitive win. The Faroe Islands held their own with 3 draws against stronger teams, and in the 2002 World Cup qualifiers, they beat Malta twice and even held Slovenia to a draw. San Marino finally earned their first qualifying point against Latvia. In the Euro 2004 qualifiers, the Faroe Islands managed a draw against Scotland, and Liechtenstein did the same against Macedonia. Liechtenstein stepped up in the 2006 World Cup qualifiers, thrashing Luxembourg twice and stunning everyone by drawing with Slovakia, and most impressively, Portugal. The Faroe Islands held Cyprus to a draw during this period as well. Also, Andorra secured their first competitive win ever and managed 2 draws in addition to that. In the Euro 2008 qualifiers, Liechtenstein continued to impress, defeating both Latvia and Iceland, while drawing with Iceland in Reykjavik too. During the 2010 World Cup qualifiers, Liechtenstein held Azerbaijan and Finland to draws, while the Faroe Islands did the same against Austria before beating Lithuania, a team that Liechtenstein also frustrated in the 2012 Euro qualifiers. The Faroe Islands beat Estonia and held their ground against Northern Ireland. In the 2014 World Cup qualifiers, the Faroe Islands drew with Kazakhstan, and Liechtenstein drew against Latvia and Slovakia. San Marino finally picked up another point in the 2016 Euro qualifiers against Estonia. It's been so long you may have even forgotten this video is about San Marino. Meanwhile, the Faroe Islands shocked Greece by beating them twice, and Liechtenstein managed a win against Moldova on the road, as well as a draw with Montenegro. Gibraltar entered for the first time but left empty-handed. In the 2018 World Cup qualifiers, Andorra managed to upset Hungary, while the Faroe Islands almost did the same, but settled for a draw. However, they did beat Latvia in Riga and held them to a draw at home. The Faroe Islands also bested Andorra in their head-to-head clash. Alright, now we've reached the Nations League era. As these groups by nature are more evenly matched, expect an increase in wins. Andorra drew with Latvia twice, as well as with Georgia and Kazakhstan. The Faroe Islands beat Malta and held Kosovo, the eventual group winners, to a draw. Liechtenstein and Gibraltar defeated each other, while the latter of those two beat Armenia, who only managed a draw against Liechtenstein away. In the 2020 Euro qualifiers, the Faroe Islands defeated Malta, and Moldova lost to Andorra, who also held Albania to a draw. Liechtenstein secured draws with both Greece and Armenia. In the 2020-21 Nations League, the Faroe Islands beat Andorra twice, and added another win over Malta. Andorra earned points against Latvia and Malta. Liechtenstein beat San Marino, while Gibraltar took down both of those teams. For the first time ever, San Marino earned more than 1 point, drawing with powerhouses Liechtenstein and Gibraltar. On to the 2022 World Cup qualifiers. The Faroe Islands beat Moldova and earned a draw, while Andorra defeated San Marino twice. Liechtenstein held Armenia to a draw. Then, in the third Nations League season, the Faroe Islands secured wins against Turkey and Lithuania, holding the latter to a draw away, as well as Luxembourg. And note that this was done in League C, not D, making it an even greater accomplishment. Gibraltar were also in League C, but only drew with Bulgaria. In League D, Andorra earned points against Moldova and Latvia, and beat Liechtenstein twice. In the 2024 Euro qualifiers, the Faroe Islands drew with Moldova and Albania. Andorra earned draws against Kosovo and Belarus. In the 2024-25 Nations League, at long last, San Marino finally won a competitive match. However, by this point it's clear they should have done so a long time ago. Gibraltar's population is even smaller. Andorra has a lower GDP per capita. The Faroe Islands are windy, cloudy, rainy and snowy. San Marino was one of the first microstate national teams, but it took until 2024 before they won a competitive football match. I'm not impressed. Now you know why you were wrong about San Marino. Click here to find out why you're wrong about Belgium. I am always right and never wrong. Yeah, totally. Yeah, let's yes, that is indeed correct.